But definitely some nice flanking, a lot of good infantry-to-infantry combat going on out there. And nice use by the American player of medic stations. That probably saved him quite a bit of manpower using those. And it was nice to see them in play again.
Definitely. You hardly see that tactic being used, but this player managed to use that to a nice effect, too, because Krausen seemed to have a hard time dealing with all the infantry.
Your thoughts, Rob?
I don't. I can't really think of much. You guys covered most of it. I was surprised at how little the Allied player used tanks and how late in the game he got a tank depot. And then when he lost his barracks, he didn't even try to rebuild it, which I think made a lot of difference, especially in this really infantry-heavy battle.
Well, he was pinning it on like the medic station, I think. And what was interesting, he builds a tank depot, but he only built about 2 tanks from it. More than likely, did he build it like up into the ledge of his base? Because I didn't even notice if it got blown up by the Flak 88. I don't know. I don't know what happened.
No, he built it back in the bottom corner. It's still up right now, but he just never used it. He built those 2 M10s, and that was it.
Ugh, that's not good. I mean, it's nice to have the tech available, but if you don't plan to use it, it can be a little bit of a waste.
Well, there isn't much he can do anyways, even if he could bring some out, because he had, at the time, a Martyr 3 as well as a Flak. So if any armor that would have moved on the field in the center would have been just utterly annihilated.
I think he could have benefited from a crocodile. Just my opinion, but
I was thinking the same thing, actually.
yeah, I mean, he's mostly fighting a heavy infantry force. He didn't really need M10s, especially when he had Airborne there with recoilless rifles. He could have used a crocodile to burn out a lot of their infantry force. And then use his own
I didn't think of that.
Yeah, and then use his own to basically worry about enemy vehicles. Because he didn't have many vehicles at all. It's like neither set did, but in the end, I think the Panzer Elite player probably did better work with his vehicles than the American player did, who basically he just focused mostly on infantry tactics rather than worrying about getting vehicles. I mean, every vehicle you saw the American player had pretty much got destroyed. I mean, the Panzer Elite player pushed that Martyr 3 to its limit, pretty much, in terms of use.
Yeah, it was certainly a lot longer than I expected it to be in the battle, especially with the 2 M10s trying to flank in it.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
That had to have been a ball-buster time for Krausen to see 2 M10s try to flank his Martyr and an unfinished Flak right there.
This Luftwaffe squad is going home with a souvenir. This Luftwaffe squad has killed 14 enemy troops. It has a 5 against infantry, 2 against vehicles and buildings. It basically is, I think, got 2 BARs and a recoilless rifle. So, an interesting tactic. I've never seen someone use a Luftwaffe squad to that sort of effect. But yeah, I mean, the Krausen put every single unit he had to the best it could do usually, and he came out on top. So I think that's saying something. It definitely worked for him. The American player seemed to worry more about utilizing rifle spam with medical stations. While that can be a valid tactic in certain circumstances, I think his rifles could have really benefited from having a crocodile, because as good as they are at killing infantry against Fallschimjagers, it's like they're no match against Fallschimjagers that are fully upgraded for the most part, anyway, unless they have absolute numerical superiority.
You probably could use grenades too.
Yeah.
I was disappointed I never saw that.
Yeah, that was interesting that he did not really upgrade his riflemen fully. I mean, where were sticky nades? Sticky nades would have totally messed up any vehicles he brought out.
He had the fuel. It's not like he didn't have the fuel to do it.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the fuel, how much fuel does he have? Because the Krausen has 837 fuel floating right now.
I don't know, for some reason all the numbers went away from me.
Probably because he left the game.
Well, last time we checked, it was about a 347 fuel.
Yeah, last I checked it was around 260, and I don't think he used much of it. Because he certainly wasn't building any vehicles.
And it does...
Or anything towards the end of the game.
It doesn't take much manpower to give your guys grenades. Or to give your guys sticky nades. I mean, especially with that medic station. The medic station should have negated the need to constantly build riflemen, I think. So he should have had some manpower available to upgrade his troops, but I think instead he might have tacked up a little too quickly to tank depot without fully getting his riflemen up there. And
Wow, this Fallschimjager group has 50 kills.
what? Oh man.
Yeah, I was looking at that. There's another one that is 42.
Wow. That's a lot of dead riflemen.
Dead or wounded.
Between the two of them, it's almost 100.
Yeah, from just
Kid.
2 squads. Man, how I wish they could give you the statistics after the battle. Like, this is how many, this so-and-so killed or whatever. You know, it just makes me wish, hey, why don't you screenshot it? Screenshot your stats afterwards. Whatever. Anyway, I think we've pretty much covered everything. Any final thoughts before we head out?
No, I think everything's been covered so far.
Yeah,
The only thing I can
we're
note
pretty thorough.
is that Krausen had very good use of saving his units at the very last moment, but that's pretty much it.
Anything, Rob? Nothing? You got nothing?
I just have to agree with that. He was really good at keeping his units alive, and the Allies weren't, and I think that was the major difference. And that flak, taking out that barracks was pretty key.
Mm-hmm. Well, yep, that's all we got time for, folks, and pretty much all that's left to see. Definitely a lot better game than last time. And if there was good sportsmanship, definitely nice job by both players. Thumbs up to both HQStorm and Krausen for a nice match. We hope to see you next time for number 14. See you later, folks.